morning and welcome back to the Wookiie Fly Fishing channel. So today I'm at Checkatree to try out my new Christmas gift to myself. I bought the RS2 Wychwood in an 8-weight. The reason why I opted for an 8-weight is because I wanted a new pulling rod, and I do find a lot of modern lines seem to be overweighted. So especially floating lines, I find an 8-weight punches out, you know, a distant 7-weight line far better than a 7-weight does. So let's have a play with it today and see how we get on. So first impressions of the Wychwood RS2. So lovely finish, very light rod, very top quality cork, probably the best cork handle I've ever had. Still got the wrapping on it. It's 2 degrees today, and I'm going to keep the wrapping on it. Get a little bit longer out the cork. It's got quite a distance between the cork and the first eye, I thought, but you know, they know best. And then I've got a second Fuji type eye, and then I've got single guide loops rather than snake eyes, but they look very thin. But all in all, aesthetically it's quite plain. It's not overstated. It's got a nice little bit of detail in the handle. Nice tight locking reel seat. But I haven't cast it yet. Let's see how I get on. So I've got my favourite fly of 2021 was this straggle bug. Slow sinking, brilliant on an intermediate. Wonderful fly and takes fish all year long. So I'm going to give that a go on the dropper. And then I've got 6 feet to like a beaded fritz. It's like a copper fritz. Very effective fly. I've caught lots of fish on that. So that's my plan today, is to stay on this floating line because it's quite a thick line, and I'm going to see how it casts on this 8-weight rod. And if we struggle with it, then I've got a clear intermediate in my bag. So let's see how we get on. Just in the owner Chris in the car park. No one's fished it all weekend. Didn't have a lot of people here last week because of the weather. It's been pretty wet. As you can see, that straggle bug is very buoyant. But we'll have a... It's more about the rod today. So, right, first impressions, feels very stiff in the hand. But I put nothing into that. And it flicked out there lovely. I'd say it's stiff, but not too stiff. It doesn't feel as stiff as something like the Maniac, which is like, to me, just seems really, really stiff. That casts lovely. It's a 10 foot, which is going to help in the windy days. Right. I'm going to take a couple of casts for the flies to wet down and sink properly. But first impressions, very nice. So it's not overstated. Seems strange to me how understated it is, because if you look at their competition, which is the one up, bloody great white bit to there, like, all about, you know, the branding, whereas this one, you've got like a copper coloured blank with black branding, and you know, it's readable, but it's pretty understated. But there you go. The water clarity is pretty poor. There's a lot of movement. It comes in a tube with a rod bag inside. Not my preferred option. The Agility 2 I've got has got a sectioned Cordoba, whatever you call it, tube. Much nicer with the strap and everything on it. You know, note to self, if you've got a aluminium rod tube and it's 2 degrees, leave the bloody thing in the car, because God, that was cold carrying it here. But I took it down to the bank because I want to take some photos of it for the video. I've also ordered the Wychwood RS in a 6-weight for my dry flies. So, and I'm going to underline that. I'm going to put a 5-weight line on it. So I've ordered a Match Catch Gold at a 5-weight, which I'm going to fish on the 6-weight. But yeah, all in all, very impressed so far. But I haven't put any power into it at all yet. Just letting the flies to start sinking properly. Stretch the leader out a bit. It's 2 degrees. Bit of a late start for me. I'm normally banging on the gate as soon as gates open, but I wasn't today because they forecast showers at 8 o'clock. So I came out just after. I've dressed to keep warm, not to keep dry. All in all, very impressed so far. It's not hugely aggressive. Last thing I wanted was it to be too aggressive. Don't want a scaffold pole. I paid $2.20 for it, which is about, you know, what you would pay for a middle of the road rod these days. So it's like almost half the price of a Stella Maniac. That does cast lovely, you know. It's effortless. I haven't got a very aggressive casting style anyway. I don't beat the hell out of the rod, I let the rod do the work, but that cast exceptionally well that time. Wow. Well, the actual coloured bit for the casting marker is about, I don't know, 25 foot, 30 foot outside my rod ring. That casts lovely. I would give that a definite 10 out of 10. You always worry when you buy a new rod, because the way we've gone, we're buying everything online, and tackle shops locally don't stock trout fishing stuff. You just don't get a chance to even look at the rod. You're buying it blind. So many people you hear of, you know, even having rods handmade, just not suiting their style. There we go. There we go. Red Apps has done the business again. Haven't seen the fish yet. Yeah, just a little stocky. This, yep, first fish 2024. Oh. There you go. Fish on. Oh, good fish too. Fishy, fishy, fishy. Ah, no way. Fish on. Doesn't feel very big though. That's not. Nice action on that rod, look at that. There you go. Fish number 2. I think that might be a blue, he's very pale. So, as you can see, it's snowing, it's cold, and my half day's up. So the rod review's over. I like it, to be honest. It's really difficult to get a 10-foot rod that doesn't feel floppy or too stiff, and the action's lovely, really lovely. It's light in the hand, very impressed with it. So highly recommend the Wychwood RS2. Thanks for watching and catch you next time.